folks, how you guys doing? It's Will Patterson here with Let's Talk Short Track Racing. I'm here with none other than Earl Van Hautte, family enriched in super modified racing out of the Michigan area, traveled all across the country, and we're going to have a nice conversation with Earl about super modified racing, how it went on in the 50s, the 60s, and 70s. Right, Earl?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So we're going to go take a trip down memory lane, and I'm sure a lot of you old guys out there are going to really appreciate this conversation we're going to have with Earl. You guys are going to bring up a lot of old names, guys that I've heard of, but I never got the chance to watch. I had a little pre-interview with Earl, and I'm just mind blown by the people that his family had in their cars. So, Earl, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Good, good. So, Earl, you drove down here from Michigan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How was that drive down?
Short.
Heard you did it one day, huh?
Yes, I did.
One shot, one shot. Okay, that's good. So, Earl, let's go back in the time machine. Let's talk about your family, when your family first got their start in super modified racing.
Roughly about 1949, 1950, my father put a jalopy together, ran local, and one thing led to another, and ended up with a super modified, and just snowballed from there.
Yeah. What track were they racing at weekly?
Weekly, they did a little Zmilwaukee Speedway in Saginaw, Michigan. It's no longer there, been gone for years, but Dixie Speedway, Berlin, the old Speedrome in Grand Rapids,
Okay.
Kalamazoo. Then they started venturing out farther, Lorraine, Sandusky, New Bremen, Winchester, Salem, IRP a couple times.
Okay.
Really been everywhere in the Midwest. Then they started venturing out later on, Oswego. Then down south, they ran a few times in the winter down in Florida here.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that a lot, but we went a lot of places.
Right, right. So in our conversations, we had a great conversation about the drivers that your family has had in those cars. Like, so who was the first driver that actually got in behind the wheel of the family roadster?
Cy Fairchild.
Cy Fairchild.
He was the first. He's a local Saginaw guy, and
Mm-hmm.
hell of a driver. Won a lot of races everywhere. He's, low 500 winner at one time.
Right.
USAC races. I believe he ran Indy cars a few times. Cy was a hell of a driver.
Did Cy ever race anything before he got into the family car?
I don't know 100%. I don't want to say and be wrong, but
Okay.
I think him and my dad were friends from beforehand.
Right.
Might have tipped a beer or two. And one thing led to another, and hey, this guy can drive.
Some of the best conversations in racing, folks, have come from having tipping a beer or two.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah. So, did your family ever run for points, or were they always racing for money?
We ran Sandusky quite regular for a long time, and Trisac, we run that
Okay.
quite a bit. But most of the time was where the money was.
Yeah.
Like, I remember they won some big races at, I believe, Lorraine, championship races and stuff, and Dixie track championships. And there wasn't a lot of track championships with the family, but there's a lot of race wins.
Yeah.
So I'd have to say they chased the money more than anything.
So who kept the trophies? The driver or the owner?
My grandmother.
Oh.
No, seriously, there's an attic full of trophies at my grandparents' house. I wish I still had them.
Right.
But there's a trophy. Norm Russ drove for us for quite a while. They won a lot of big races, and there's a big trophy. I think they won it at Lorraine. It was like 5 foot tall, 6 foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
Norm and my father, my dad's name was Larry. They would trade the trophy off every year.
Okay.
He'd have it for a year, he'd have it for a year. And we were talking at Norm's Hall of Fame induction. He says to my dad, Larry, what the hell you do with the trophy when you got it? He says, it's in the bedroom, it's a coat rack. And Norm said, I do the same damn thing. Just stuff like that.
Yeah. So I remember when I was a kid, I shouldn't say I remember, I was told about this when I was a kid. Baldy Baker, the illustrious super modified driver from out of Ohio, out of Strasburg area, he invited my mom and dad down to the house and have dinner. And I was just maybe like 2 years old at the time. I don't remember it. But my mother always talked about going over there to their house and having dinner at Baldy's and just going into his trophy room. She says it was like the Taj Mahal of trophies.
Well, we had trophies, but a lot of times they got given away to kids.
Yeah, yeah.
And My dad, my dad passed away 6 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
right before they got inducted to the Michigan Hall of Fame. And I told my dad, I says, you get inducted, you got to say a speech. Nope, I ain't saying no damn speech. I said, you have to. He said, what do I say? I said, just go up there and say thank you.
Right.
He says, you can't do that. I said, I know, did it. He just said thank you. I says, you know, what the hell? Well, I ended up giving the speech
Okay.
because Dad had passed. My mother's there, the whole family's there. My mother says, do you got a speech wrote down? I says, no, I do not. I'm going to shoot from the hip. And she says, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm going to start out with, hello, mother. And my mother said, you can't do that. I said, yeah, I can. Well, I get up to the podium. I just look at everybody. I make eye contact with my mother. I go, hello. He paused that shirt and goes,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
My mom was flabbergasted at first.
Uh-huh.
It was the same year Matt Yoakum was inducted.
Okay.
And there was a elderly woman there. I forget her name, but she was like 100 years old and raced in the 40s and 50s. What a sweet lady.
Mm-hmm.
Great to meet her. And, you know, there's a lot of neat memories just there.
Yeah. It's really cool because, you know, like I didn't start coming around racing until like 1979, and the friends that I've made then, I'm still friends with today. I'm 49 years old, and you know, I've known these people for over 45 years now of my life, and I know you got a couple years on me, you know, and
Yeah, I'm just turned 60.
yeah,
When I had, you know, we raced every weekend.
right,
I didn't play Little League, stuff like that. But everybody, where's your friends? Well, this one's in Ohio. This one's from New York. This one's from, you know,
yeah,
like, you don't know people that far away. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Every weekend we're together.
yeah. So
You know?
yeah, no, I trust me. I tell everybody I got a lot of cousins and a lot of aunts and uncles out of state, you know. So I got family in Oswego, I got family in Ohio,
Well,
I got family in Massachusetts and Michigan and everything else.
I got left at a racetrack more than once because after the races, I'm out. I'm saying goodbye to friends. I'm
Right.
seeing what I can see. They pull out with the motorhome, and hey, Earl must be in back sleeping.
Uh-huh.
Then they get 50 miles down the road and realize I still at the racetrack. Well, I get beat for that. Good memories.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, what other drivers did you guys have inside the car?
Norm Rust, he was a Michigan guy. He ran quite a bit. He ran for us at Oswego. His best finish in the Classic was third place, I think, in '64.
Okay.
You know, and that was the year before I was born, so I can't remember that one. I heard the stories from him. Johnny Logan, Wayne Landon, Bob Seelman, Jack Lindout, Jim Eberstein, Frank Michaels, Lou Mall, Hal Wood, Kurt Kelly.
Al Wood.
I know I'm missing some,
Uh-huh.
but there's a lot of.
You had some hot shoes right there. If you put all those drivers, I'm not even kidding you, the drivers you just named off, you put that into a feature, that's
Oh,
an
man.
all-star feature right there.
I'd spend big money to see
I
that.
would too. I would definitely spend big
You know,
money to
we've
watch
had a
those
couple
guys race.
guys that filled in here and there.
Uh-huh.
You know, 99% of it was awesome times with awesome people.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
racing, man. It
Yeah.
really is. And you know, like I got stories with Al Wood back when I first got onto the ISMA tour with back in like 1992 with Jake Fisher Jaycock's super modified race team. Al Wood was the crew chief on that car.
Okay.
And there was not a restaurant that we could go to in the country that Al Wood has not stopped at, and he's got a story to tell you about it too.
Yeah, tell you what to get, what not to get.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Well, it's like Tony Lavati back in the day. They had a restaurant for a while.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was disappointed when I went there. Because I wanted to see trophies and race cars. It was just a restaurant.
Yeah, it was just a regular restaurant. Yeah, Turnpike Inn, I believe, is what it was called.
I can't remember.
Uh-huh.
You know, I remember us kids, especially down in Florida, they had the caravan of campers, half dozen families, half dozen campers, parked in a big circle at the back of a racetrack alongside of it. 99% of the time, all the kids were in one motorhome, sleeping and stuff while parents were out
Cutting it
having
up.
a cocktail or two.
Yeah, cutting it
Yeah.
up, yeah.
Yeah. And God, some of my best memories is that racetracks all over.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I can say the same stories too. And we were all caravanning up to Michigan for the Kalamazoo Berlin race weekend, or caravanning out to Jennerstown for their ISMA race weekend, or Oswego for their race weekend
We
also.
used to run Delaware, Canada.
Oh yeah, still open by the way. They
Yeah, I
just ran
haven't been there in years.
they just ran ISMA there this year actually.
Really?
Yep.
In Cayuga.
Yep.
That
Yep.
was, I remember that.
That was a
Quite
bad
fondly.
that track. I don't know what's going on with that track. They had some big money guy come in, fix it all, clean it all up, and he ran a couple big races. Now it's sitting dormant again.
That's sad. I hate seeing that with any track.
Yeah, right.
You know, we
Right.
got local tracks to me in Michigan, Dixie Speedway. They they call it Birch Run, some event center or something now.
Yeah.
Then Owasso Speedway. Both them tracks have been around 60, 70 years plus.
Mm.
And they're both beautiful facilities
Yes.
right now. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
I'm like, I love seeing that. The old Auburn Speedway, where me and my friends, without Dad and Grandpa, we started racing. It was a half mile, 5-turn asphalt track with a quarter mile in the middle of it. A lot of great friends there, a lot of great memories, but now it's a dirt track.
Mm.
And I helped a couple kids there. They've won championships and stuff there, but every time I go in there, it just, man, I wish it was still the asphalt track that we played on.
Right. Right. Yep.
Yeah. I can't even begin to name the amount of tracks I've been to with this stuff.
You know, I got a buddy of mine up in Oswego, New York. Excuse me. He told me that I need to sit down. He's done this before. He sat down and he's wrote down every track he's been to in his whole entire life, dirt or asphalt. One day, and I keep telling him this, he always asks me every year, "Have you done it yet?" And I say, "No, I haven't done it yet." But one day I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write down every racetrack I've been to, and I've been to a lot, whether it's for super modifieds or super late models or even my own racing career. I've gone to a couple of races that just for me racing, but I guarantee you it's a long list.
Well, that's my dad. He wouldn't, you could not get Dad or Grandpa to sit in a grandstand and watch a race.
Right.
They were either on the fence in the pits watching or working on the car.
Yeah.
And they couldn't tell you if there's another group of cars there besides them. That's all they did. And after they got rid of all the family race cars and stuff, my dad started following the World of Outlaws.
All right.
And so we never got to a lot of dirt tracks during the super modified days. Now, I think the only dirt track we ever raced at was at Syracuse on the mile.
Oh, did you guys race on the mile?
Once they did.
Okay.
And it didn't end too good.
That was a bad, fast track. That's for sure.
Well, the super modifieds would show up there with the sprint cars, the Outlaws.
Yep.
None of us were on wings.
Yeah.
I remember Bentley Warren had a little nose wing on top of the cage out there. They thought the wing was going to make them slower.
Wasn't he like number 77 or something like that? It was a white number 77?
He had a white 5 is the one I'm thinking.
Was
The
it the
Boley
white
car.
5? Okay, was it the Boley car?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah, yeah.
But I remember Bentley in some of the cars he drove, and you know, to me the Oswego guys were the king of the hill.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Well,
What didn't start out that way though?
no, it sure didn't, and we're going to get into that because we're going to get into the Michigan invasion up at Oswego. And we have not talked about this in the pre-interview at all, but I know back in the '60s, those Michigan guys showed up there, and they're like, "What the hell's going on up here?" The Michigan invasion took over Oswego.
Yeah, but the problem with that is they learned quick and caught on. I got the pictures of it. I got memories of it. It's not born yet, but my first memories of Oswego, I'd have to say like 69, 68.
Wow.
Sleeping in the back of the pickup for the whole race weekend.
Yep.
But that's what everybody did.
Me and you traveled the same path, just at different times.
A couple of years apart.
Because the first time I went to Oswego, me and Dad slept in the back of the station wagon, and we went down to the local gas station, and we just did one of those hillbilly showers out of the sink.
My grandmother had a 5-gallon pail of water. and you stood there in a wash pan, and she'd wash us kids. We didn't know any better. It's just what you did.
Right,
You know,
right.
then when they finally got the motorhome, man, we were rich.
Yeah, for sure.
But I remember the cars, our early super modifieds, going out there, and they were just the Oswego boys were running coop shit, basically the jalopies.
Right.
And they kept calling us cut down bugs. And I remember them stories, but boy, did they evolve.
Oh yeah, they did. Boy, yeah. I mean, just look at my shirt. This is what they
Yeah.
look like now, you know. So
Yeah.
they've came a long way.
But I look at old pictures from the classic. This is one of the biggest things I always remembered. You had offset cars, rear engine cars, upright, sprint cars. You had it all in one field, and you still honestly didn't know who was going to win.
And that's back when the day they were getting like 75 cars for
Yeah.
the classic, and I think they started 50 of them back in those days
I
or something like
don't
that.
know for sure.
It
I
was a
can remember
crazy
them
amount
starting 40 for sure.
Yeah,
but
it was a crazy amount of number
yeah,
that
it
they
was
were
like
starting.
that many race cars at one place,
Yeah.
let alone on the track together.
Exactly, you know,
Yeah.
and that used to be such a prestigious race, and it still is to me. I mean, I fly up every year from Florida to still go to that race, you know, so it's definitely my favorite race weekend of the year. I love Oswego Speedway, and I love the classic, and I love the people up there. No racetrack party's better than Oswego
Oh,
Speedway.
turn 4. The Zoom.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
might have been there once or
Yeah,
twice.
it sounds like it.
We it was in late '70s when we quit racing out there, but '72 one of our cars was involved in a really heavy accident there, and I there's pictures of it around. The driver was Chuck Bertello, and he stood on the nose of the car in turn 4, ripped the fuel cell out of the back of the car, and Chuck's laying over the right rear, fully extended, his head on his shoulder, and the whole right arm's hanging out of the car on top of the right rear.
Oh,
Come down, walked away from it. You know?
mercy.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah. That's back when they only just had the lap belts then, I would take
yeah,
them,
they
right?
wouldn't tighten them because it was too restrictive.
Open face helmet, rag around the face, around
T-shirt.
yeah, t-shirt, yeah, cigarettes rolled up in, in the sleeve. Yeah, I've seen
Well,
those pictures.
There's a story of Johnny Logan. It
Okay.
just popped in my mind. He was driving for George Keane and Tom Addy, the 35 car, and he had some money in his uniform pocket, but the pocket wasn't zipped.
Oh no.
The money blew out. He had like $200 in bills. All the money blew out during the race. He might have found 30, 40 bucks of it, but not happy other people picked it up later on. But,
Yeah, and for you guys that are watching right now, Johnny Logan was literally the last sprint car driver to ever win a track championship against super modifieds at Sandusky Speedway. And up to the longest time, he was the last sprint car guy to ever win a feature until Charlie Schultz now holds that illustrious record, you know. But Johnny Logan in that orange 99 was,
oh my God.
he was something special in that car. He
He
really
was special
was.
in any car.
Yeah.
But that 99 car, I hear it's restored.
It is, and they bring it out every year at the High Miler at Sandusky for the legend cars or the throwback cars,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, and it wheels around there. Yeah, I think Lee Booz owns it now, which is Larry Booz's nephew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember Oswego, the year, I think it was Jim Pasternoster, brought out the restored Champagne car. You know, it was classic weekend. It was 84, 85, I think.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I'm just watching this car go around the track, bring out memories. My dad was there. He's looking, he says, they need to put that car in a glass case and don't let nobody touch it.
there's now 3 restored Jim Champagne cars now.
That's awesome.
Yep, they just restored the last super modified he ever raced.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the major offset number 8 brown and
The brown
turquoise.
one with the turquoise
Yep,
stripe.
yep, number 89. They just restored that last year. God, I can't remember who restored it right now. It slips my. Oh, the Martell family.
Okay.
Based out of Northeast. They restored it for a guy, and I believe they just sold it, but it was just that classic. I don't think it was there this year, but I know it was there last year. I walked around that car, and I just wanted to touch it.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted just to touch that car, you know.
They had a couple restored cars, the Michiana Antique Racers. You see some of the cars. One Johnny Logan, old 35, is there, and Hank Lauer and a few other guys. I can't remember all the names, but it's just neat. That's history.
No, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
you got to remember where you were.
Yep.
But that's cooler than hell.
I 100% agree. And unfortunately, super modified fans, as I tell everybody, we're all dying off every year. A little bit more of us, we're not gaining super modified fans. We're all getting old and we're all dying off. So,
Well, what was in my mind, like I can remember in the earlier days that I can remember, we'd race 3, 4 nights a week, Oswego, Sandusky, and Lorraine, the same weekend. I tell kids I went to school with, yeah, I was in New York on Friday night,
right.
Ohio on Saturday and Sunday. You're like, you're lying. Like, no, that's what we did. I thought everybody's dad had a race car.
I can definitely, like I said, we've traveled the same path as kids because it was the same thing in my neighborhood as well.
I got to meet Matt Yoakum at my family's Hall of Fame induction, and we got talking. Like, Matt hung out with Trisac when he was young.
Right.
I said, we probably played Hot Wheels together someplace and just don't remember. There's stories when I was 2, 3 years old. I wanted to go into pits with Dad and Grandpa. I wanted to play with the race car.
Right.
They wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
I'd sneak away from my mother and grandmother and climb under their fence. They couldn't find me. They'd find me wandering in the pits at a 3-year-old. How the hell am I alive? But stuff like that.
Yeah, that reminds me a little, when me and John Hennis were kids, we're 10 years old after the races were over with, where's John and Will at in the pits?
Yeah, that's where you went.
We're in the pits. Well, sitting in every race car that we could possibly sit in back in those days, So, yeah, trust me, I get it. And like you said, it's a drug. It really is. It's literally it's a drug. We talked about this earlier, and it's very addictive, and it's the horsepower, it's the family, it's everything there is about racing. It really is. It's just one of those things where it's when you got the perfect situation, when you got good people, good racing, good racetrack, everything.
Back in the day as a kid at the races, I never was hungry.
No.
There's always...
It's your own fault if you were.
Yeah. Just the kids you're playing with, your dad, your grandpa, their uncle, somebody had a race car.
Right.
Mom's out there got a sandwich or a bowl of beans or something. There's something to eat all the time.
Absolutely. Yep.
Then the same thing with the discipline. You got disciplined the same way.
And the bad thing is they would go tell your mom and dad about it, and then you get it again. Twice as bad. Yeah. So that's for sure. That is for sure. So we were talking out there at the picnic table, and I was saying that Michigan was such an illustrious and Indiana area was such an illustrious super modified area that all of a sudden it just started fading away.
Yeah, it was towards the end of my dad and grandpa's deal with racing. Grandpa was getting older. He didn't want to travel 900 miles every week.
Mm-hmm.
Then, of course, money.
Right.
Motors started, got to the point where you couldn't just throw a motor together in your garage and go out and be competitive anymore.
Right.
Now you had 10 to 15 grand back in them days, and that was a lot of money. But comparative to now,
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I remember my dad complaining one time because he had to buy a new right rear Goodyear. It was like $75 or something. He was telling me, he said, I can't believe they're that high. Dad, you need to be here today.
Yeah, you know what they're going for now, right?
Yeah.
You know what a super modified engine's going for right now? For top of the line super modified engine, you know what it's going for now?
Right around 3.5, 400, isn't it?
No, for a super modified?
Yeah.
No, it's about 100,000.
No, I thought we were talking tires.
Oh, tires.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Tires right now, I think it's 2,500.
Yeah.
For a set.
I know what the tire
yeah.
motor. I know what they're going for.
Yeah, $75,000 to $70,000 for a brand new motor right now. Who can afford that?
Well, I wish I had the book to show you. My grandmother took care of all the numbers. And she had a ledger. They built the new car, I think, 68. It was a combination sprint car, but they put a different tail up running a super modified with a bolt-on roll cage.
Right.
IMCA wouldn't let you run a cage.
Really?
Yeah. If you had a roll cage, it had to be chromed. What was the sense behind that? I have no clue. How
Huh.
come guys didn't wear seatbelts? Yeah,
So if they got flipped, they fly out of the
yeah.
car.
No, but they had like $3,500 into this whole race car.
Uh-huh.
All new everything.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, that seems right now that's nothing.
No, that's that's
But
dropping the
looking
bucket.
back, that car made over 40 grand that year
Oh wow.
racing. That was pretty much my grandfather's job was, you know, take maintaining the car.
So that car made over $40,000 in
Yeah,
one year.
1 year.
I can guarantee you there's not one super modified race team right now that can say they made 40 grand this year.
Oh hell no!
I can guarantee you there's not one super
But
modified
they
race team
were
that made 40
running
grand.
4, 5, 6 nights a
Oh,
week.
that's very true too. Yeah.
You know, they ran everywhere. And the money back then, I can remember seeing some of the paperwork they had. I think a feature at Dixie Speedway in '68 paid $1,200 or $1,300 to win. You know, put that in perspective.
So just to put that in perspective, there's I think it's like generally I think what was it like 6 grand to win the high miler this year. And if you go by that math, you said $1,200, $1,500.
Yeah.
You're saying that these races should be $10,000 to
Oh,
win
easy.
today.
You
You
know,
know?
well, that's like they just ran the big race out in Vegas, sprint car,
Yeah,
super
the fifty
modifieds.
thousand dollar to win race.
I
Yeah,
think, yeah, for sprint cars, it's
yeah,
50 grand to win. Super modifieds, I think it was 5 grand.
5 grand. Yep.
I mean, you got some of the best that did show up there.
Yeah,
You know, imagine driving from New York with your super modified all the way to Vegas for 5 grand.
well, we did for the last 2 years. We didn't this year because they had
Yeah.
an ISMA race in North Carolina.
Yeah,
And but if there was no conflict, I think they would have gotten a couple of East Coast guys to go out
yeah,
there.
like well, Otto won it last year.
Yep.
You
And
know,
Dave
I think-
Danzer won it the year before
Yeah, I
him.
think Otto walked out there 5 grand.
Yeah.
I mean, that didn't pay travel expenses
No.
for these guys.
No.
Super modifieds, I miss them because of the ingenuity. in
Right.
them. No two cars were alike.
Right.
Now it's a lot. There's still ingenuity, but not like it used to be. But I think a lot of it is people just can't afford to throw 100 grand just to a car.
That's exactly what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Yeah. We need more super modified fans to hit the lottery.
Oh man, better hope I don't hit. I might have a whole fleet.
Me too. Me too.
Wife
And a
will let me for
racetrack,
sure.
in a hauler, and the whole 9 yards. Yeah. All my friends are racing super modifieds if I hit the lottery. Yeah. We're going to crash some shit up, but, we're going to have some fun doing it, though. That's for
Something.
sure. But,
I mean,
so we had talked about Pat York out there and how you were good buddies with Pat. And what special memories do you have with Pat?
Pat, a little bit racing, him and his Uncle Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't remember if his dad drove much or not, but I remember Pat. I was always jealous because, man, these kids got a super modified and I didn't. I
Right.
didn't get to drive one. I wanted to, but. And Pat is such a wonderful historian of this sport. I really wish he'd write a book.
Yeah.
There was a outlaw sprint car driver, Bobby Marshall, passed away a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
As far as sprint car go, I've never met anybody so knowledgeable, and Pat York is the equivalent to that with super modified.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
he redid the Tim Richmond car.
Oh, that was beautiful.
About 5 or 6 years ago, probably longer than that, maybe
Yeah.
10. But that I believe it's out in Idaho now or something.
I
in a
know,
museum.
Oregon or something.
Yeah, something out in the Northwest out there in a museum out there. But it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just when he got done restoring that, he had it at Sandusky Speedway, and I remember just going over top of it. I'm like, this is a brand new car.
Yeah.
This is a brand new car.
I think Pat's one of the best.
Yeah. Oh, I
restore a race
no
car.
argument for me on that for sure.
No, I've seen some of the cars they've done. Is just like blows your mind. They're actually, I think, they're better than what they originally were, if you
Yeah.
can say that. But it's awesome. What's sad about a lot of the old super modifieds, they didn't get saved.
No.
They cut them up to build the next one.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You know,
true. Yeah, it's so my claim to fame with Pat is that when I used to be the flagman at Sandusky Speedway, during High Miler weekend, the old timer cars would come in on Thursday and they would do like an exhibition race, and Pat came there with his silver rear engine car, And I said it'd be cool to hand the flag off to the whoever won the race, like they did back in the
Yeah,
day.
I
And
remember
I still
that.
do that today with the newer cars. People think I'm crazy for doing it, but
No, I think it's
yeah.
awesome.
So
You know,
I'll show you some videos that I got when we get done. And so Pat wound up winning the nostalgia race, and I come down off the flag stand and I got the flag and I'm holding it to him. He swoops down, I drop it in his hand. He goes around, does his victory lap. I pick it up, I go up to the flag stand. Never met Pat before that day. Now Pat knew me as a kid, out there at the racetrack, and I get a message from Pat. I don't know if it was the next day or a few weeks later, and he goes, I never got a chance to win at Sandusky Speedway. I never won a heat race, never won a feature, never got a chance to, as he calls it, drag the rag.
yep,
So I never had a chance to drag the rag. And he goes, You made my dream come true by handing that flag off
that's
to me.
awesome.
And
It
I was
is.
like, wow, that I got goosebumps now.
Hey,
Like I
I'm
know,
getting them.
yeah, I know what that means. And so when I heard that, it made it that much more special now to where I have to keep this tradition going,
It's an awesome tradition. I remember that. Going back to Sandusky, whoever won the feature, that super modified or whatever got pushed around to the main entrance of the grandstands.
Really?
And they used to, here, right off the track,
Uh-huh.
push the car there, and everybody on walking out, hey, there it is. You can touch
Nice.
it and, talk to the driver. I remember that. I can remember my dad bitching about it. God damn, we just want to load up
You
and
can
go
load up and
home.
go home, yeah.
Yeah. But the drag to rag, that is awesome. I kind of forgot about that, but that is,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I could help you bring that memory back in your
that's
head,
awesome.
So
I
yeah.
really like that.
Yeah, I just I do it now, and I did it at Sandusky for the High Miler. I came up for a cavalcade this year, which is I figured it's going to be the last race ever at Sandusky Speedway. They have this really nice super modified division up there called the Ohio Outlaw Super Sprint Series. And they're running 350 engines, crate engines. Some of them are crate, some of them are built, but they're built exactly the same. Narrower tires, more like a super late model tires on the
Okay, like
car.
a 10 inch or
Yeah,
something.
yep. And they're just as competitive, just as good. They're doing really good lap times. Very great racing going on out there. So they're racing cavalcade at Sandusky. I flew up there to flag that and dragged the gave the flag off to Sawyer Stout. He wound up winning the race, and that was he is technically the last person to ever drag the rag at Sandusky Speedway.
Oh,
So that's his claim to fame. Got a picture of that. I blew it up. That's hanging up on my wall, and just an illustrious history out there at Sandusky
I was
Speedway.
looking at the 50th anniversary Oswego book earlier,
Yeah,
and I think it was Todd Gibson. I forget the year, but new track record of like 19 and change. I'm like, well, ain't they doing that in low 15s now?
what is it now? It's
It's in the
with
fifth.
with the wing, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, with the wing, yeah. But I think it's like a 15.7 or something like
still,
that. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
4 seconds faster.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy fast. Yeah.
Tell your dad 50 years ago, they're going to turn this track in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
You're lying.
I remember going to Winchester as a kid and watching Bentley set the closed course track record. I think it was 1990 or 1991 or something like that at Winchester, and he didn't let off. He was flat foot around the whole track. It was just crazy, and I think he went like 14 seconds or something like that. Then
As a kid, that was a playground. We're pitted in there.
Yeah,
When I was real little, they didn't let kids in the pits.
right.
But Winchester, you could be in the infield. I
Okay.
remember the crosswalk
Yep.
and
Yep.
all
The
that.
bridge to get over.
The
Yeah.
bridge to get over. But I can remember, I want to climb that hill.
Okay.
Like turns 1 and 2. I try climbing up there. I'm like, it's unbelievable how much banking was on that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's 30 some degrees. I'm not sure the exact number, but
It's the steepest banked racetrack in the country. I don't know about the world, but definitely it's got more banking than Talladega, more banking than Daytona.
yeah, I knew that. So I
Yeah.
think Daytona was like 34 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
So
Yeah.
that's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
It is nuts. Like the sign says, the most bravest drivers enter this racetrack.
Oh, it's funny. I get my ass chewed by my mother because I get to the top of track to the wall, slide down, and rip my pants all out. What's that at the bottom?
Another one of those beatings, huh?
Oh yeah, that was a regular thing.
Yeah. So you got any other like what was your favorite win for your family that sticks out the most for you? What was that one win where just you could tell the story verbatim today?
There's a lot of them. I think one of the greatest ones I wasn't even there for the
Oh,
family is there's pictures of my grandmother, my grandfather, Norm Russ. It was a Lorraine Championship win.
okay.
I I can't remember. It was at least 100 laps, maybe more. But all the pictures of it, I look at it, and they got my dad shoved behind everybody. My grandma's front and center for everything. It's late 60s. She's got her black glasses on with the diamonds on them. And she was kind of flashy.
Uh-huh.
And I think she actually loved the racing more than anybody. I can remember another time out at Delaware they won. And I was pretty small then. I'm like, okay, we won. That's awesome.
Right.
But Dad was happy. He was smiling all the way home to Michigan from Canada.
Right.
We didn't win a lot towards the end, but there's a lot of times there. St. Paul, Minnesota, I know they did very well there several years. And I like St. Paul was one of my favorite races to go to. Because it was state fair weekend. I got to ride the rides.
Oh, yeah. So you had entertainment going on.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then you could just cap it off with the race at the end.
Yeah, I think one of my greatest memories was at Dixie Speedway. Johnny Logan driving the family super modified. They put me in the car and they did a couple laps of me riding in the car on Logan's lap.
Oh,
in the
my
super
God.
modified.
Yeah.
And I remember that like that was yesterday.
Yeah, I bet you do.
How many people sat on Johnny Logan's lap and rode around a racetrack?
I only know one now.
Yeah. Probably get somebody in trouble, but
Yeah, that was back in those days. It didn't even matter. It's just there was no so many rules that there are now. Compared to then. But yeah, that's a phenomenal story right there. And your family's been around, it's illustrious. You guys called me. Michael Goddard called me, I don't know, it was last week or something like that. He goes, oh, yeah, I was on my way to golfing. He's like, oh, yeah. I said, I've heard that name before. And he's like, oh, yeah, we're here at their shop, and we're talking with the guys. And he's got so many great pictures and this and that. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then Grant calls me a couple days later. He goes, I got him coming down. I want you to come down and interview him for the podcast. So I'm like, okay, absolutely. We're talking super modified.
well, the only problem about coming down here is my wife wasn't too happy about it. She thinks I'm just down here having fun.
Cutting it up, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you tell her it was 50 degrees this morning?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She says it's better than home. They got snow in the
I know they do. I was at least trying to help you out, So
I can't help this.
Yeah, so I know she's probably watching this right now. So
Or she
trust
will.
me, us Florida people, and I've only been down here for 11 years, and I'm still walking around, as you guys can see, with t-shirt and shorts on. But it's definitely one of those things where it's I'm seeing people dressed up in parkas down here. It's still,
It's funny
still
for me
comical.
coming from Michigan.
Yeah.
And I had a pair of shorts on, a t-shirt, and the next guy I see, he's got Carhartt coats on, 2 hoodies. He's asking me what the hell's wrong with me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but-
So, well, I guess we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap this up, folks. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Please like, follow, subscribe. Let's talk short track racing. I would greatly appreciate it. Earl, it was a pleasure, sir, having
Yes,
you
sir.
on here. It really was. And guys, take care. Have yourself a great day. And